Welcome back to Garfield, the world's best official, unofficial Garfield-based economics politics podcast. I am joined today by the Autistic Garfield collector expert. Welcome to the show, collector of Garfield stuff.
It's good to be here. Hello.
Hello. I am excited to have you on here because I know that you said that you have been collecting Garfield merchandise for how long?
I believe since 2019, so it's about 4 years now. I got my very first one from eBay just by chance. It was a 1983 one, I think, of a Christmas Garfield that someone was selling for about 99 cents. And this was before the Garfield market was inflated. So I was like, you know, I was just really excited to bid for 99 cents and nobody else bid. And it came to me 3 days later, and that was the start of something great.
I, that's crazy. Okay, you said that the Garfield market got inflated. When did that happen?
I'm not really sure, like in a specific point in time. I think around whenever like Garfield started becoming more prevalent in meme culture or just, in general. That a lot of people started selling their Garfield merchandise for like now it's about 20 or $30 for a decent plush, I feel. And like I
Mm-hmm.
said, when I first started, it was about $2 or $5, I want to say.
Yeah, that's crazy. I just recently I picked up some like Garfield stationery from the 70s from I think 1978. But I just got it for free. And I noticed that Garfield is becoming like really big in meme culture. Like that's sort of like hence why I created this show in the first place. But like it's insane that things have gone from like plushies being $2 to now like $35.
Y-
That's so wild to me.
Yeah, recently, the most recent addition to my collection was actually a gift from my boyfriend for our anniversary. And it was
Hmm.
the Cowboy Garfield one, and that's been my dream Garfield since I started collecting because it's just so hard to get a hold of him. And he paid about $80 for that one. But he's so
Dude.
adorable. He's just like got a cowboy hat, and being born and raised in Texas, he just speaks to me on a personal level.
It is funny that you and I are two Texan-based Garfield enthusiasts, and only one of us has the cowboy. Though I think you're doing a much better job of the Texan representation than I am. I put a cowboy hat on my Garfield plush, which I think should count for something. But
Yeah, I actually noticed that when collecting them, whenever you buy them from the same year, the different versions use the base model plush. Like, so it'll be the same Garfield plush, but it'll have a different hat and an accessory sewn to it.
dude, okay, I'm falling way behind on my merchandising game.
No, you're
Uh,
fine. It's just
I'm
something,
so
it's like something small. I noticed that it makes sense because these were like mass produced items. And I kind of think back on whenever they first started making like those Garfield window plushies that they had to discontinue them for a bit because people started breaking into cars to get them.
Oh my gosh, are you serious? I
I
just saw one of those the other day down my street where he's like suction cupped to like the interior window of the car.
Yeah, when they were first introduced, I forgot where I heard it. I can like look it up. I think it was a YouTube video that went into was just like a huge deep dive into Garfield. And I was just like, wow, that's insane to think about that it's kind of like he resurges into pop culture every so often, or maybe he never really faded away because I think back on I don't know, he's celebrating 45 years now because his birthday just passed.
Hmm.
And to think that like something like that can stay so relevant for that long is kind of insane.
It's unmatched. It's unbeatable. Garfield is forever and eternal. And now that I'm thinking about it, you telling me that, I definitely would be the guy to just take a pry bar to somebody's car window. I should have done that when I saw that plushie stuck to the side of the window. I was like, "That's mine."
It's
That is an untold fortune right there.
it belongs to me.
But you don't deserve to have him.
Oh yeah. So I actually went on vacation. I remember I told you this, but we went to this video game store while we were over there, and there was just really big collection of video games, but my boyfriend went to go use the bathroom, and in the hallway I could just hear him say like, "Oh wow, oh wow," and I was like, you wondering what it was, and he comes back and there's like three different Garfield plushes. He's like, "I'm so sorry to ask, but I noticed these in the back. Are they for sale?" And she said no, because her husband's actually a Garfield collector, and
Mm.
those are
And
his.
a competitor,
I,
I see. A rival.
Yeah, so and he owns the game store, if I'm not mistaken. But the whenever we were talking about it, she's like, "Yeah, he's like a huge collector, and the locals here either like sell them to him or just give it to him. So he has like a really big collection." And I just sat there and cried internally because I'm like, "It should have been me, not him."
It should have been me. What? No, that's what you have to do, dude. You have to become known in your local town as the Garfield guy, because that's how I got that stationery. Is one of my friends on Discord who actually like just lives down the street from me. She was like, "Yeah, like I got this from my dad's house when I visited. It's from the '70s," and I was like, "Oh, I'll just give it to the guy who likes Garfield." And that's that's what she told me. And I was like, hell yeah. Walked my ass down there real quick.
Oh wow. Yeah, whenever so I used to cosplay a lot as a hobby, and a lot of
Mm-hmm.
the friends I made knew that I was like super obsessed with Garfield, so they would actually sometimes surprise me with Garfield things, and everybody knew that like I love Garfield like to an autistic degree.
That's what you have to do, though. You have to make sure everybody in your vicinity knows so they know where to give their Garfield stuff. Not the game store owner guy. That's not the guy. The guy is you. You're the guy.
I'm the guy, like that scene in what was it, Spy Kids 3?
Yeah, yeah. You're Elijah Wood showing up and
Oh,
being
that
like,
is Elijah Wood. Oh my God,
it is.
I completely
It's Elijah
forgot.
Wood.
I that slipped my mind completely.
He just appears like a shimmering apparition.
Stop.
I'm the guy.
I'm the guy. And then just
Yeah, just imagine that, but instead of Elijah Wood, it's you, and the armor is like orange and black.
perfection, honestly.
Let's see. I've got, believe it or not, I do have topics that I've collected throughout the week. Let's see here. What do we have? Did you hear about the submarine thing with the
Yeah.
billionaires?
Yes, I did hear about that. I actually can't stop hearing about it. Everybody's talking about the submarine, and there's like so much discourse around whether it's okay to like make jokes about it or not, or like if we should feel sympathy for these people. And it's just like, dang, that's insane. Personally,
Mm-hmm.
I only feel bad for the 19-year-old, if I'm being honest, just because I feel like it wasn't his decision and he just did it to make his dad happy, or on Father's Day, no less.
That is pretty sad, to think about the kid. Like your mom's like, he's a Titanic fan. He collects all this Titanic merchandise, and now he's getting a chance to go see it. And it's Father's Day. You should go with him. And then you just like implode. That's pretty sad.
That is really,
Um,
yeah.
but you know what?
I,
Speaking of, actually, like, did you see that Mr. Beast? He put out like a tweet recently saying that he claimed that he was invited to go on the submersible, but declined.
yeah, I did see that, and people are calling it like the Seth MacFarlane 9/11 of our generation.
Yeah, I'm imagining like a timeline in which Mr. Beast was on the submersible. I feel like that would have changed some things. I feel like we would have been shifted from one course of time to another instantly, a
I
completely different
wonder what
universe.
the discourse would have been, honestly, if it would like Mr. Beast did like die in a submarine that was made out of carbon fiber, which I found out that is one like a really bad material to make something that's going underwater out of, I forgot the
Hmm.
science behind it, but it had something to do with like the salinity and density of water compared to like when it would have eaten the ship alive if it didn't implode, essentially.
Oh shoot! So it was like a ticking time bomb. Like either way,
Yeah,
it would have just
it
like
was
disintegrated.
doomed from the start, honestly.
Yeah.
But I don't think that's like one of the only things that made it doomed from the start. I think I have to wonder why they used a controller to, control it. That's been a really interesting the development.
Not even on brand, an off brand Logitech controller for like a PlayStation 2. Pretty interesting choice.
I would have used one of those like plug-in SpongeBob controllers, like you used to plug into your
Mhm.
TV.
I would have used the Donkey Kong bongo drums. Let's see. What else do we have on the docket for today? Such good topics.
I love topics.
Okay. Well, while we're on the subject of social media sensations, why are teenagers drinking the Grimace shake and then dying violently? Have you seen this meme?
Yeah, I actually saw one of them. I just saw one, and then after that, I went on Twitter and I saw that someone made a compilation of like a bunch of them. So like, oh, so this is a
Mhm.
trend. That's funny. If trends happen so quickly, I don't know. It's hard to keep up.
It's so hard to keep up. I saw one video maybe like 2 days ago or something of a young woman like drinking a Grimace shake and then just like vomiting up like purple goo on like a brick wall. And then like ever since then, like I just keep seeing like videos of like mostly teenagers and young people like being like, "Oh, I'm so excited to have the Grimace shake," and then they just like explode, just die,
I mean,
crushed.
who's to say they didn't die? I think that things are officially purple. Me and my friend were actually just
Hmm.
talking about this before we I got on here, that it's just such a weird shape of purple that it just feels like something that came out of milking Grimace.
Yeah, it does look like it came straight from his bosom. You know what I mean? It's not something's off about it. I think that you're right. There's some veracity to the horrific deaths of young people enjoying a tasty purple beverage of mysterious origin.
Then again, McDonald's drinks in general are like very intense. I feel more intense than other ones. Like everyone used to make memes. They still do about McDonald's Sprite. Like I remember a joke I used to tell was like I dropped my phone in some McDonald's Sprite and then it started charging.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
I remember that too. Yeah, whatever they're doing over at Mickey D's is I feel like it's experimental. I feel like they're just doing experiments on us and seeing what happens, to be honest. Something's off.
Hmm.
Something's off with their bevies. I'm gonna go try one, and I'm gonna see if I, just sort of disintegrate, like the flesh melts off me or something, or if I'm fine. I
Ooh,
don't know.
take
I'll do
pics.
my own testing. I'll
Yeah.
report back.
That
Yeah.
sounds you serve a good cause, I feel. I feel even if it didn't kill you, I don't know, I feel like that would just tear up my stomach, honestly.
It would definitely do permanent, irreparable harm to me in some way. Even if I don't die, you're right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, anyways, uh, Russian Civil War. That's on my notepad.
Could just imagine, like, I don't know why, but I imagined it in cursive with like little hearts around it, like your little teen girl drawing in her diary.
It's highlighted pink with a highlighter.
Yeah.
It's decorated.
The
It's on my
eyes,
little Garfield notepad.
all the dots on the eyes are replaced with hearts. I actually
Mhm.
heard about that from my boyfriend. I forgot. It was like in real time. I'm trying to like recall what happened. He just like hit me with the news. It's like, what? Like, yeah, I just like I think he went to the restroom and he was scrolling on TikTok and his TikTok feed was just full of like the Russian Civil War info. And it's just like, what these people are and just what they're doing and why they're doing it. Oh, look, he's here right now.
Secret third guest
Secret
on this
third
episode.
guest.
What a treat.
I know.
What a treat. It's crazy though, because I feel like the like news of that, I swear like I heard about it like last night or I don't know, like very recently. And then I woke up this morning and it was like already over.
What it
Like,
is?
yeah, yeah, I believe so. I like pulled up an article. I was like, okay, what's going on with this? They're like marching towards Moscow. They were like within 100 kilometers. This like mercenary group. Because I think the whole thing was this mercenary group called the Wagner Group. They were dissatisfied with the defense generals or something.
Yeah.
So they basically did a mutiny and they started like turning inward. They took over some Russian city, and then Russia had everybody like they had a bunch of troops like around Moscow to prevent like a march on there. But then this morning, it seems like it's all over. The Wagner Group is back, like fighting against Ukraine now, and the dude Prigozhin, I think his name is, who is like leading that mutiny. Putin was just like, no, it's fine, it's cool, like I get it, it's understandable. But I'm just gonna exile you to Belarus, but like we're not gonna no criminal charges. You're fine. I get it, dude. I was like, what?
What?
Like what?
They're like, lol, JK.
Yeah, like it's like over, and like they didn't even like put the guy in jail or anything. They're just like, nah, understandable. Have a good day. Just go to Belarus.
That
Like,
is actually insane. What if they were just like feeling a little silly and they're like, it'd be really funny if we could just get a headline going just because I'm kind of bored. And then this, like,
yeah.
once they got it, it's like, nice. All right, let's go back to fighting Ukraine. It's just, I don't know.
I feel like they were in like whatever the courtroom or the trial or whatever
Hmm.
for this guy who led the mutiny, and he was just like, Your Honor, in my defense, I was in a silly, goofy mood, um, and I think that about sums it up. And the judge was just like, you know what? I think you're right. And just just hang out in Belarus, you'll be fine. See
Chill
ya.
out, calm down.
We all get a little goofy, it happens.
Crazy that we live in a time in the information age, I think it's called, where we could just get this kind of information just in real time, and then
Oh yeah,
just like that, it's over. It's Jover.
it's all Jover. I swear though, like the fastest and best way to like get news nowadays is on TikTok and Twitter.
But
Like you
that is
you see all this stuff
insane.
happening in real time.
But that's just insane to me because we shouldn't really be relying on social media for that kind of news, I feel. I don't know. It'd be nice to be able to trust your local news station, but after finding out that like three companies own the majority of all news, it's just like, damn it. Why you gotta do that?
Yeah.
But sometimes it'd be really important things, like, I think it was like the our water shut off in our area because there was a brain eating amoeba in the waterways, and she
Classic Texan thing, by the way.
I that is insane as well.
That's a classic Texan thing to have.
It's just
It's so crazy. They had to shut down a water park near me because some kid was like having fun dancing around the like splash pad and got the flesh brain eating amoeba up his
are
nose
you
and like died.
serious?
Yes, and they had to shut down the water park. Like I don't know why, but like Texas is like don't go swimming around here. Just don't.
When I went on vacation to Florida, we went to a water park, and there was a
Hmm.
big sign that said, like for each of the rides, it said don't go on if you have like neck or back problems. Only ride if you have perfect conditions, and in big bold red letters is like, do not get in water if you have diarrhea.
Important, very important. I feel like they should have signs like that everywhere for all water parks. What a funny sign to see.
I kind of lost it. It's just like, I mean, it's true, but they probably had to put that on for a reason.
There was an event that made them put that up. Like that's not something you put up preemptively. Something happened.
Yeah, I think they also had like a Florida health code thing underneath it that said to try not to swallow the pool water because it's all circulated. So I was like, oh,
No.
this be pee pee water.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I I would also advise against not drinking pool water, though. Just in general. Um,
Yeah.
Not to mention that everybody pees in the pool. There's also just like a bunch of chemicals.
Hmm.
You probably just shouldn't be like drinking like water that they're like chlorinating. You
Yeah,
know?
they have like huts that had special signs on it that had a like a hand melting kind of like those really minimalist chemical brands where it's like caution
Yeah.
corrosive chemicals behind here, authorized personnel only. It's like, oh dang.
Amongst other things, I remember my parents used to have a pool when I was a little boy, and they used to make me go out there and like be the pool boy, and I would be working with like the most hazardous like chemicals known to man at like the age of like 12. I'd be like dumping like buckets of like diatomaceous earth into like the little strainer baskets and like putting in all the chlorine and stuff, and like all of the packaging just said like warning, super dangerous,
Oh my
handle with
God.
care. And I'm just like waddling around with a giant bag of it and just like going around the pool.
You could just imagine like a little lad just prancing around with these dangerous chemicals without a care in the world, completely clueless.
I've got a big smile on my face. I'm holding a bunch of uranium with both hands.
Um, I was a weird little kid, and I feel like I've ingested my fair share of chemicals that my mom
Hmm.
really likes joking about it. But I think it's just like when I look back, I was just like, oh my God, how did I survive as a kid? I just remember
Yeah.
there was one time we were at a pool, like at a friend's house, like a family friend's house, and they had one of those pools you buy at Walmart, the really big ones. And
Hmm.
they had this weird white tablet. I didn't know what it was at the time, but for some reason in my head, I was just like, I'm gonna lick this thing. And it was so
Hmm.
sour and bitter, and I was like, ugh. And then I found out it's a chlorine tablet.
Yeah, no, but those are good for you. It's like salt licks for horses. But this is for people. You're supposed to lick them as a treat.
Chemicals.
Hmm.
Now we don't
Did you ever
really.
do the thing?
Uh,
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say, that it's kind of crazy that for a long period of time, that lead was in everything, and it was just like
Hmm.
poisoning people. And now it's just microplastics. And now when I drink water, I sometimes I'm like, yummy microplastics.
I've elevated my game. I eat macroplastics now. I'm maxing out. I'm plastic maxing.
Oh, okay.
Uh,
I see you're on that grind.
oh, okay. I'm on that grind. I'm on that grind, baby. I'm getting all. When they talk about macros, I'm talking about plastics, my friend. I'm counting my macros. That reminded me. Do you remember those like classic like Garfield like coffee mugs?
Yeah, the I remember that I saw an article and I was like made sure because when I was active on social media, I had made sure to tell people like and it's just like, hey, these have a high amount of lead and cadmium if you own like
Hmm.
I think it's the 1978 Garfield mug specifically from McDonald's. I'm not sure.
Yes.
Yeah, it was the
Again, a tie-in to McDonald's performing experiments on us.
Oh man.
But yeah, no, like I see people all the time. They're like, "Wow, I just found this cool Garfield mug," and then like the next day they're posting like, "This is so sad. It's like 100% lead. Like it's
Oh my,
unusable."
yeah.
Yeah.
I actually have a close friend that I found out later down the line had those mugs, and even after I posted about it, still used it, but didn't know because I didn't see my post until I sent it as a meme in a Discord call. And he's like, "Wait, hold on, is that real?" I was like, "Yeah, this is real. Like, it looks funny, but it's real." He's like, "I have those exact same mugs. I've been drinking out of them for like since I was 12." I was like, "Oh no."
Oh no, dude. Oh no. Okay, your friend's doing it wrong. They're mixing it up. You can have microplastics or lead, but you can't have both. It's a dangerous combination.
It's like bars and alcohol, I think.
Exactly. It's you can't drink and do bars in the same way that you can't consume microplastics and lead. It's just a dangerous combo. Well, shout out to them.
Shout out to,
Hearts go out for them. Thoughts and prayers.
yeah. Off topic, then you
Yeah.
obviously you're gonna cut this out, but can I hit my bong right now? Is that okay? Or
Yeah.
okay.
You could even hit the bong on the show and I wouldn't cut it out if you didn't want me to. I don't care.
That's funny. That's funny as hell.
Okay.
All right, well, I'm gonna do that now, and you can keep talking. Yay.
Okay. I'm gonna keep talking while the autistic Garfield collector takes a massive bong rip. Let's see here. What do we have? Grimace Shake, McDonald's, Russian Civil War with a Sundari drawing of Putin that I did, where he looks like very cute and kawaii. Let's see. I think that's actually all I have. But I will just talk about Garfield merchandise in particular, just given the nature of the guest that we have today, while she's enjoying her marijuana. Let's see.
Yeah.
I was really struggling to say that word. I didn't know if I should. It was marijuana. Anyways, but the Garfield merchandise, like I just looked it up on Wikipedia a little while ago, and the merchandise itself earns anywhere between 750 million to $1 billion annually. Not even including any revenue from like licensing or the comics or anything. Just like primary merchandise sales alone. So we
Wow.
can we've completely confirmed that Garfield is like a multi-billion-dollar industry.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy to think about, but I'm also not really surprised. I
No.
remember some people used to think that like I feel like some people get really territorial over their interests, if that makes sense. Like they don't want
Mm.
they like get upset when other people are like into the same things. They're like, "Oh, I'm a bigger fan." But I don't know. I feel like people who are fans of Garfield just understand that this is a very popular cat, and a lot of people are gonna love this cat because, it's freaking Garfield. Like, come on, get real.
You can Garfield get real, just like the movie. I think you're right. I think that it's unexplainable. Like when people who like don't understand Garfield, because I used to be a non Garfield understander. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
I would my papa, he would get the newspaper, and when he was done with it, I would run in like a little goblin. And I would steal the newspaper so I could read the funnies. I could read the comics at the back, and I would see like the Garfield comic in there as a kid, and I would be like, this is just boring. I don't get it. But now I understand. Now my third eye has opened, and I understand it. And you can't explain it. Like I
Yeah.
can't explain to people like if you're not in the Garfield right now, I cannot explain to you the appeal or like how you're going to become a Garfield guy soon, but you will. It'll happen.
It'll
That smug little cat will look at you, and one day it's gonna click. It's like doing DMT for the first time and seeing the nature of the universe.
It's beautiful, really. Um,
It's poetic.
there's a lot of trends with Garfield that I've noticed in recent past. Like the one that keeps
Hmm.
circulating is that one of the Garfield plush being snuggled like for about I think 30 years or 40 years, and then, it recently resurged a couple months ago into like, everyone's been like someone reposted it saying I'm thinking about well-loved Garfield plush. And then people were like making images of it and like saying things like to be loved is to be changed. And it's like,
Yeah,
yeah, I don't know if you've seen those images, but
I have.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's where it comes
they're
from.
touching.
I don't know. I feel if I ever, I already have a Garfield tattoo I have planned, but if I ever got
Hmm.
another one, it'd probably be about like with that quote with my own well-loved Garfield plush, the first one I got. They all have personal names that have to have Garf in them. It's really hard to remember most of the time, but when I do, it's pretty great.
Hit me with a handful of names right now on the
Okay,
spot. Let's go.
okay. So the first one I have is Garfunkel. There's Garfief. He's the one that has he's a chef one. I
Okay.
think his thing says "kiss the cook" or "kiss the chef," and he has a little spoon tied
Hmm.
to him. Then there's Garfidimus Prime. That's my 4 foot tall Garfield plush that I paid a stupid amount of money for.
Oh my god, he's 4 feet
Yeah,
tall.
he's 4 feet tall. He's like made out of
That's how tall I am.
You're just a little guy.
I'm just a little fella. You can't see it right now, but I'm kicking my legs under my chair. They're just freely swinging right now.
That's so funny. Um, then there's Gartholomew. That's my that's that like knockoff Garfield that's based off of the live action movie. You know, like the really scary looking one. Everyone like either really loves him or really hates him when they see him.
I feel like if I saw him, I would have like a mixture of both, like a fear and respect. I got I very recently got one of those really like fucked up Garfield plushies from like China for like $15 off Amazon.
Nice.
And it came like vacuum sealed in like a package, and it just like looked like I don't know, like in some sort of like abhorrent horror. And I loved him immediately. I love him to this day. He just looks really fucked up. I think it's just called Orange Cat on Amazon. I'm gonna plug that right now. Shout out to Orange Cat plushie on Amazon. You should go and buy it. Use affiliate code Grimace Shake 12 for 10% off that.
You saying Grimace Shake reminded me of like when I was on vacation, there was we were staying with my boyfriend's family, and one
Hmm.
of the kids not the kids, one of the teens asked like, can he do the thug shaker? And he's like, what's the thug shaker? He's like, I can't do it. I don't know how to do it. Um and so I think he's like 6. The 6-year-old was the one that taught him how to do the thug shaker.
I wish I could do the thug shaking.
We all do. We all do.
The only dance I ever learned how to do recently was the, I don't know if you've seen this, the Pine Grove Shuffle.
No, I have not.
Okay,
What is that?
we'll go look up
Can you
it's
describe
hard to
it to
explain.
me?
So it's hard to explain. It's beautiful, is what it is. It's art. It's a dance to a Pine Grove song, and it's sort of just lazily like shuffling like
Oh
forward and
wait, I think
backward
I know
on
what
your
you're
two
talking
feet.
about. I
Yeah, and then
just
like limply,
yeah.
throwing your arms. Yeah,
I did not know that had a name. I just thought that like
yeah. It's the Pine Grove Shuffle, baby. I have taught myself how to do it, but it actually took me an embarrassingly long amount of time to learn how to do such a simple dance.
oh my
It was like a
favorite.
week's work of work.
I since I'm cringe free, I like to floss
Hmm.
as a stim, and I do that at work a lot, and people just like either really hate it or they just find it really amusing.
That you floss at work.
Yeah, just randomly, because it's just always like whenever there's live music, I was just just do that, or there's always music
Hmm.
playing where I work.
Oh yeah, that's right. Because you work in front of the house at a music venue.
Yeah, I do.
So actually that is really funny. If I went to, so I live near Dallas. So I'm just gonna dox myself, I guess. But I live near. I'm like 40 minutes outside of Dallas or whatever. So we always go to Dallas when we go to like shows or whatever.
Hmm.
And I would like just imagining like if I went into the Granada or like the Palladium Ballroom or something, and I just saw the like hostess just like flossing her teeth when I showed up. I
Hmm.
would actually enjoy that. That would be very fun for me.
No, not flossing my teeth, the floss dance, like from Fortnite.
I was imagining you flossing your teeth.
No.
I was like, I have no idea why she jumped from funny dances to
It's a
flossing her
funny
teeth,
dance.
but
Oh
okay,
my
let's go with
god, no.
that.
It's a little
And in
it's
my head, I was just imagining you just like taking people's ticket stubs and stuff like while flossing your teeth.
no.
But
I actually really don't like things between my teeth. That's so funny. But no, it's the little Fortnite dance where you just like get up and like
yes,
move your arms, you know? It's the really cringy one
Yeah.
everyone makes fun of and thinks of Fortnite when they see it.
Yep. Yeah. Okay. We're on the same page now. Now I know what you're
Yes.
talking about. That kind of flossing. Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know. I would do that. I would start doing the Pine Grove Shuffle at my place of work too, but I have to go to an office and wear like business clothes. And I feel like I might get escorted off the property or something.
I get you. I used to be a librarian before going back to working at the concert venue. And
Hmm.
it's like such a strict dress code because, you know, you're technically a government worker and you have to look presentable. And I was the only one that got multiple dress code violations because I cannot help myself.
No, you're being silly. You're just enjoying yourself, expressing yourself.
I think it's like really arbitrary, regardless, some of the rules, if I'm being quite frank. Like one time I got dress coded because my dress was too form fitting and like I couldn't help that. It's
What?
just yeah. And I don't know. I feel like my manager, like she was really sweet and she never like every time she tried to talk to me about it, she's like, you know, I get it. Like you're way younger than me and like I'm not with fashion trends and things like that. But, you know, I'm just someone that has to enforce the rules and like I don't want to reprimand you. And I never really got into big trouble over it, but yeah, it was just like a really strict thing.
I yeah, it I get it. Like I never really thought about it that way, but yeah, I get like you're technically a government employee, so you can't like look ridiculous or whatever, but that does seem like really arbitrary, especially about just like having clothes that fit your form very well. I think dress codes are stupid. I think I should be able to wear my 3-inch inseam tight short shorts to my office, and I feel like I should not get in trouble for that.
Just like,
Uh,
yeah, get real. That's what I say.
yeah, I said get real. Grow up.
Yeah, that's exactly it. I don't
Yeah.
even know where that comes
You
from.
don't like seeing my voluptuous thighs? Grow up. Grow the hell up.
I wonder where
Uh,
that like saying comes from because I've been saying it more recently. It was like, grow up, get real. I just heard it from
yeah.
somebody before, and then I just picked it up, and it's like, ooh, new stim.
Yeah, I think I picked it up. I think I saw a tweet once where somebody was like, "Oh, you don't like my disgusting goo getting all over the place? Grow up." Adding it to my lexicon.
Yes, but for a time,
Yeah.
I still do it like quite regularly, and you know, I'm trying to learn to have no shame, but there's these Sonic the Hedgehog like fan dub on YouTube that I think are hilarious. And for a time, I would just quote it constantly to the point where I think I could have quoted the like an entire video.
Damn, I do be feeling especially autistic today because when you said that, it reminded me of when I was a kid. I would watch like Sonic the Hedgehog YouTube videos, but with the audio replaced with like Nine Inch Nails or like Linkin Park music,
The
and it was
AMVs,
like
the Sonic
yeah, the
AMVs.
AMVs with Shadow being a badass and like, oh, who's this new Hedgehog Silver? Look how cool he is to the fucking Nine Inch Nails. Um, I might be autistic. I don't know. Maybe maybe I
Honestly,
was.
if
I
you
was watching
feel
those and I was like, hell yeah.
if you feel like it, then like I'm in the minority of people, even though I'm diagnosed. I think that you know yourself better than anybody, and if you feel like you're autistic and you want to like fit your life like that, you more than definitely can. It's really hard to get a diagnosis to begin with, and then whenever you do, there's like a lot of hurdles afterwards. I don't know.
I don't know if I personally care that much to label myself. I don't know.
Yeah, you know,
Very very 90s. Don't label me, man. Don't
it's
don't give me with your fucking labels, dude.
I can't say I'm a 90s kid because I was born in 99, so I'm like right on the edge, you know.
Yeah. That still counts. I mean, you technically got it. You snuck in there.
Yeah, just barely. My birthday is like in the it's actually my birthday is pretty soon. It's like less than a month away, so it's like You know,
Mhm.
but I don't know. They didn't really celebrate.
Oh, happy future birthday, by the way.
Oh, thank you, thank you. My future self will
Welcome.
thank you.
Okay, yeah, just call me in a month and say thank you, by the way.
Yeah.
And I'll be like, okay.
I try to remember people's birthdays so I can send them a personal Garfield image that says happy birthday.
I sent my wife a Garfield Valentine's card last year.
Aww.
And yeah, and she said, "You're losing your mind. Is you're taking this too far. Like,
That
we're gonna get pushed out of the apartment at this rate. I
what?
think the house is overrun with Garfield plushies. You have to stop the podcast. You're not gonna be a millionaire podcaster. You have to stop, please, please, Brad, Garfinomics, please stop. You're ruining this family." I said, "Oh, I love you too," and I gave her the Valentine's Day card.
How romantic. Oh, did you hear about like orcas apparently attacking like yachts and boats? And that sharks are also
Yes.
joining in?
Wait, sharks are joining now?
I heard so. Let me see if I can find like an article or something.
I hope so.
And
I hope they're organizing all of the aquatic creatures. I I saw there was a an opinion piece written by somebody named John Stern that said why you shouldn't be rooting for the orcas, and I was just like looking at his name, like John Stern, like this was written by a boat. What's next? An opinion piece about why we should hate the orcas by like Jonathan Starboard. Come on, get real.
Get real. Grow up.
Get real. I know a boat wrote this.
Yeah, okay. I don't see anything about the sharks, but there's like a lot about the orcas themselves. Like there's one I think I see the one you're referencing where it's like orcas sank 3 boats off the coast of Portugal, but don't call them heroes. Like what?
No, they're awesome. They're doing cool stuff in the ocean. They're having
I
fun.
actually got to see a lot of dolphins while I was out on vacation because I went on a dolphin tour and they had to
Mhm.
warn us that we couldn't actually get too close to the dolphins and it's also illegal to feed them because if you feed them it teaches
Yes.
them to approach the boats more often and they can get hurt from the motor and all of that. But when he was telling us that, we look over and there's like 2 guys that are fishing and feeding these dolphins. They look so
Yeah.
happy.
I've always had I have a deep love of whales and orcas, but I've always had a bit of a rivalry with dolphins. Actually, almost explicitly for the reason like you just said, like when you were visiting, that it's like illegal to feed them, and you can't get too close to them or whatever. Because I was on vacation one time, and we got like a boat thing, like a little boat tour, I guess. And the captain was feeling a little goofy that day. He was feeling a little silly. And he was like, hey there, son, like, do you want to steer the ship for a bit? Do you want to pilot the boat? And I was like, yeah, yeah. And I like got up there and I was like steering the boat. And he was like, watch out for the dolphins. It's super illegal to like to get near them or for them to like touch the boat or anything. So just be careful. And the whole time, like it felt like the dolphins were like ramming the boat, like just coming up trying to get treats. And it scared the hell out of me. He was like, just don't get too close. You could go to jail. And it's
That's
like,
so funny.
no, no. Yeah, I don't know. I do like the beach though. It sucks that for me, like either if I want to go to the beach, either I have to pay $1 gajillion to fly somewhere, or I have to drive to the coast and it's like a 9 hour drive. And then I get to visit like the oiliest, most kelp infested beach that I've ever beheld.
I understand.
Uh,
I really do because like I
yeah.
know the exact water you're talking about, it's that Gulf of Mexico water.
Oh yeah, it's that ocean. You go for a dip and you come back and you're just covered. You're. It looks like you're doing blackface because you're just covered in oil and you have to explain like, no, I didn't do this on purpose. Like it's just.
When I was on vacation, it was so blue and clear, and apparently, like, not all of Florida is like that. And
Hmm.
it has something to do with their underwater cave system or something. I forgot how my Lyft driver explained it to me. But yeah, it
Hmm.
was beautiful out there, and the way, but I did not like ingesting seawater. That really hurt. I like remember waking up the next morning, like I was coughing up seawater the day before, and I'm just like, I need a cough drop.
Yeah, you're not supposed to drink seawater, famously.
It's just really hard not to get seawater in your mouth when you're just playing and splashing around, and then a big wave like right in your face.
Well, it looks really good. It looks really
It's so
delicious and
yummy.
like it's so good. It tastes so good. It looks so juicy and thirst quenching. And people say it's really on them. They should have warned you not to drink it because it's obviously enticing.
So true, so
Um,
true. Um, I've actually been watching a lot of videos on YouTube recently about like people like caving accidents and underwater cave accidents too, and it's kind of crazy. Just these recreational activities, I would say. And I think that ties back
mm,
into the submarine that we talked about in the beginning.
I'm too scared. Like I think these people they do it for the thrill of it too. I think they want to experience the thrill. The danger is exciting.
Like mountaineering and, most of those kind of
Yeah.
things. Hiking's pretty tame. It's like the vanilla of recreational activities.
The only thing though with hiking that gets a little dicey is when you combine it with camping. I was camping in Arkansas one time and like me and my wife we were like in a tent sleeping and we started hearing like hogs rooting around and like being loud and I wake up to my wife like yelling at them and like hitting the tent and trying to scare them off and I'm I start freaking out immediately. I'm like I'm gonna get gored to death by a boar. um and then the craziest thing happened, dude. We heard we heard a bear growl.
Oh,
And then
wow.
all the hogs ran away. And then I was like, okay, fuck, now I'm gonna get eaten by a bear. Um and I just like I ran to like the car that we had parked like just a little ways from the tent.
Uh-huh.
And I just started like blaring the horn. Like just deep into Arkansas mountains, just blaring my car horn, trying to scare off, whatever. But it is freaky. It is scary when it comes to hogs because hogs are mean, dude. They're so mean. They will kill you
It,
on sight.
yeah, I don't know. And it's really hard to kill hogs like with without like a weapon. Like I would say, like obviously it's hard to kill an animal barehanded, but like it's hard to stab a feral hog. And I think about that.
Yeah, it's hard to get them with a strong like uppercut to their jaw or whatever. It's
I wonder if they're like pigs and they can't like, because pigs, the way that their body's structured and their faces, they can't look up, so they don't know what the sky looks
mm,
like. Do you think that's the same
that's
for
sad.
feral hogs?
Can feral hogs behold the beauty of the sky? Can they shed a tear looking at clouds?
It only gives me about pigs, and then there's a random article for 17 facts about feral hogs.
Okay, let's go through them.
Uh,
Let's start with number one.
all right.
What's the number one fact?
Um, this is
Hog
just, why do
chat.
they phrase it like a question? Number one, how many do they average per litter, and how often can they breed in a year? The
Dude,
average
I don't know. That's why I'm reading the article.
the average is between 5 and 6 pigs per litter, and they have about one
Mm,
and a half litter per year. Are more litters per year and larger litter size possible? Absolutely yes. What is the average
wow.
lifespan of a wild pig? Why did you phrase these like questions? I don't like this already.
Yeah, why are you asking me? Yeah. Is this number two? Are we on two now?
Yeah,
Okay.
it
I'm
says
gonna make this episode of the podcast 3 hours so we can get through all 17 hog facts.
mortality rates vary greatly, impacting the very young and the very old. Okay, let's get to the number bit. It's
Hmm.
between 4 and 8 years of age. Wow.
Hmm.
Okay. How heavy can they get? Weight depends on genetic background and food availability. Generally, males can reach larger weights than females. It's not a hard and fast rule. Their average rates vary, but run 200 pounds for adult males and 175 pounds for adult females. A 300-pound feral hog is a large pig, and unusually large weights of 500 pounds, occasionally reported in the media, are very rare. Do you imagine a 500-pound feral hog charging at you?
I'm imagining it right now, and I'm very scared. To be honest,
Okay.
I'm very scared. No, I can't. 500 pounds of fury coming towards me, coming at you, like at the bottom. What is that? Like the low center of mass, like a football tackler would come at you, but like just 500 pounds. Like no, miss me with it.
What is the power of their bite? They have extremely strong jaws to crack open hard-shelled nuts such as hickory nuts and pecans. As they predate upon or scavenge animal carcasses, they can easily break bones and often consume the entire carcass, often leaving little, if any, sign behind. Oh,
Wait, is that what? Oh, that's why they say like if you're ever like if you ever need to dispose of a body, you're supposed to just like feed it to hogs. I guess that's why is they leave no trace.
oh wow. How strong is
Wow.
their sense of smell? The wild pig's sense of smell is well developed and much better than both their eyesight and hearing, and they rely heavily on it to detect danger and search out for food. They're capable of sensing some odors 5 to 7 miles away and may be able to detect odors as much as 25 feet underground.
Oh my god.
That is insane. Why do the
Oh
more
my
I learn
god.
about feral hogs, the more I am terrified of them.
They're
I
creepy.
thought I could sympathize with them, but
No, they're all like mini bosses, but there's a billion of them.
okay, number 6. What are their eating habits and how much do they eat in a day? Wild pigs are opportunistic omnivores, meaning they feed on plant and animal matter in addition to being able to play the role of a scavenger. They are largely indiscriminate in their feeding habits and eat both vertebrate and invertebrate animals. Approximately 85 to 90% of their diet is believed to be composed of vegetation and
Mhm.
10% animal matter. Small pigs may eat approximately 5% of their body weight daily. Large pigs an estimated 3% of body weight.
Okay.
How
We got some percentages.
Number 7. How fast can they run?
Okay. Yeah, 7. Let's go. I'm sorry. I'm so excited that we're reading 17 hog facts.
How fast
Number 7, let's go.
how fast can they run and how high can they jump? Wild pigs run up to 30 miles per hour and they can jump over fences less than 3 feet high and have climbed out of pig traps with walls 5 to 6 feet high.
Oh my god.
Therefore, traps with 90-degree corners must be covered on top because the pigs tend to pile up in that corner and literally climb over each other. Oh,
Oh, it's like the zombies from like World War Z. They just like make a ladder out of themselves.
how do they sleep? All right, number 8.
How do they
Yeah,
sleep?
wild pigs can just simply lie down and sleep, usually on their sides. They will
Just
actually
like me.
construct nests that they use for sleeping as well as burrowing. Some are very simple depressions and other can be quite elaborate. Often they simply seek out thick underbrush for security or root into a brush pile or down treetop for security. In hot months, they will often lay in mud and or seek deep shade. Number 9. What other animal would you liken their intelligence level to, considering their ability to learn to avoid traps? What? They can learn to avoid traps? What was that information given?
It wasn't. It's every single thing on this list is just learning a new superpower that hogs have. They, if these guys existed in the Marvel universe, they'd be the strongest like threat that the Avengers had ever faced.
Wild pigs are one of the most intelligent species found in the United States. They learn
In
to
the universe, actually.
They learn to avoid danger very quickly, and half-hearted attempts to control them just make them less susceptible to future control efforts. They respond to human pressure via avoidance. Oh, I thought that was going to say violence for a second.
I bet they also respond to it with violence.
What is the average cost of property damage they inflict in Texas? Total cost of annual property damage? It says
Okay.
a 2004 survey conducted by Texas A&M AgriLife Extension Service that they placed the annual damage in agriculture in Texas alone at 52 million, with an additional 7 million spent by landowners to attempt to control the pigs and or correct the damage.
Oh my god.
Other
Wow.
researchers suggest that damage per pig per year averages $200, but the problem there is that the assumption is made that a 40-pound pig causes as much damage as a 300-pound pig, which is unlikely. The total pig
Hmm.
population in Texas has been estimated recently at 2.6 million. Estimates for United States population as a whole are non-existent, but guesstimates place that number between 4 and 8 million. So we have like a good chunk of these just in Texas alone.
We have most of them actually. Yeah.
Some reports estimate total damage in the US may be 1.5 billion annually. However, these damage estimates are in part based on population estimates, a figure we don't have a good handle on nationwide. Number
Hmm.
11, do they use the same trails to get from pace? Why did they say pace to place? That's weird.
From pace to place. Somebody made a mistake there. Fire them. Fire that writer.
I hope they fired that guy.
Welcome back to Hogonomics.
Hogonomics.
Welcome
Let's
back to Hogonomics.
talk about the wild hog population and how it affects our economy, you know?
That's right. Let's talk about what wild hogs have to do with the Russian Civil War
We
and the thug shaker.
we just have to send like all these hogs to all the nations, that are giving us problems. And there you go, taken care of.
We need to send all the hogs to McDonald's. And, like, I think something mysterious would happen. I you never mind. I'm gonna hold on to that thought. Something's there. Continue with
With that.
our facts.
Um, so it says that they are creatures of habit and they will use the same bedding and resting areas and feeding areas as long as the food source is available. However, they are
Hmm.
capable of moving great distances to find food. Human disturbance, less pressure, will make them alter their patterns of movement. Um, yeah, so it looks like they like staying in one place if they can.
Me too.
What do they do to damage trees specifically? The most sensitive environmental areas wild pigs damage are wetlands, and they can alter the vegetative community present. They compete with native wildlife for hard mass. Their rooting can accelerate leaf litter decomposition, causing a loss of nutrients which can impact seedling survival of trees. And their rooting behavior
Hmm.
can damage seedling tree growth and survival. Wait, are they an invasive species?
This makes it sound like they are. I thought they were just native. They were just around.
Or
Hogs native.
hog.
This is what we really. They should have put this in the list. This should have been number one.
They're not native to the United States.
Oh no.
Oh,
Okay.
wow. I had no idea.
Okay.
Let's
The
see.
situation worsens.
These things need to go away. So,
these these beasts.
number 13, are older boars loners? That's such a. I don't understand
Yeah, they're
these.
incels. They're incels.
If you see a large wild pig traveling alone, 101 times out of 100 it is a boar. The mature boars become solitary or sometimes travel with a small number of other large boars. They only join when sounders when a sow comes in heat. When does a
Interesting.
sow abandon its litter and when do they separate? Within a few days of giving birth, a pregnant sow will leave the group in order to furrow. They may remain apart for 2 to 4 weeks, then rejoin the group. Sows don't really abandon their litter over time. A sounder is a family group of pigs made of sows, typically related via about 3 generations in their piglets. Pigs are completely weaned off by 3 months of age, although they have been observed eating solid food as young as 2 weeks. So they say roughly about 16 to 18 months of age is when they start
Hmm.
getting territorial.
Good to know.
What kind of foods are they most attracted to when trying to trap them? Uh,
Hmm.
Shelled
Peanut butter. That's my guess.
Shelled corn is often used, but landowners have also
Okay.
been successful by fermenting corn, milo, rice, oats to increase the odor attraction. Old fish grease, catfish stink baits, and overripe fruit and vegetables have also been used successfully. Others have used maple syrup on corn. So
Okay, interesting. Yeah, I was gonna say peanut butter, but interesting. Seems like they really like corn.
oh, look, it says where do they originate from? Pigs were
Let's go.
domesticated some 8 to 10,000 years ago. They're believed to be multiple areas of origin in Europe and Asia. Polynesians brought domesticated pigs into the Hawaiian Islands around 700 AD. The first pigs were brought into what is now the continental US into Florida in 1539. Explorers used these pigs as a traveling food source. It says after wandering around the southeastern United States in search of gold, the explorer Hernando de Soto, their party brought 700 pigs into what would become Texas in 1542. So blame that guy.
All right, I'm blaming Hernando on that one. That was a bad move, pal. Bringing 700 pigs. You brought the end. You brought the pig apocalypse on us.
What's the difference between a pig, a hog, and a boar, and are there different species? The term wild boar is typically used to describe Eurasian wild boar from Europe or Asia. Feral hogs are those that originated from domestic breeds, but they may be the result of a few or many, many generations in the wild. That is insane.
Is that all 17 facts?
There's like a bigger paragraph for this one, but it's just kind of regurgitating the same things.
Stupid. They're filling a word count.
Regardless,
we don't let them get away with that.
The Eurasians and domestic gone feral are largely the same species and therefore will interbreed with no problems, resulting in all sorts of hybrids between the two groups. And none of these should be confused with the javelina, a native pig-like mammal found in American Southwest that is not even closely related to wild boars, wild pigs, or feral hogs. The best name to use is simply wild pig. Oh, so we do have a native wild pig.
Oh yeah, I thought javelinas were native because if you go out west, like you see them like running along the road and stuff. They look like little black pigs. They're very cute.
Yeah, they are really cute. Aww.
I like little javelinas.
That kind of sounds like my birth name, but like just a bit off.
I was gonna ask what your birth name was, but then I was like, that might be doxing you.
I actually live at 123. I can't think of a
If you would like to hear more hog facts, you can call her at her personal number, which is 214. No, I'm not going that far.
Just makes up a number.
972-111-2345.
It's a good combination.
All right. Well, thank you for joining us on Hogonomics. I've been your host, Garfionomics. With me today was the special guest, the autistic Garfield merchandise collector enthusiast.
Oh wait, can I get a shout out to my boyfriend's band, the Monkey Tryouts? Check them out. They're pretty cool. Yeah, you just type in the Monkey Tryouts on Instagram and it's like underscore after each letter, after each word.
And I will be following up on that. If any listener does not check out the Monkey Tryouts, I do keep tabs on you, and you will be barred from listening to the podcast in the future. Your access will be cut off. Okay, well, great. No, thank you for coming. And if that was your only plug, I think we call it here and we stop.
Yeah, thank you for having me. It was a great pleasure being here, and I had a great time.
Me too. We must do it again someday. Thanks for joining us. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.